everybody, and welcome back to our BK Lounge podcast. This episode, we have a very special guest. This is Luke Adams. Luke, why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into your business, what it means to you. Take it away.
Okay, so I honestly didn't ever plan, or it was never an intentional thing to like start a stone wrapping business. I mean, I've always been into like art and stuff. Like I took a lot of art classes and that type of stuff like in high school and middle. Honestly, actually like my whole life I've done art, I guess. But I actually was following this girl on Twitter and she like started wrapping stones. And I was like, honestly, those are really pretty and I feel like I could do that, but kind of like in my own way. And also, I guess I've kind of seen them because I'm into, like, EDM music. And, like, going to, like, those types of shows, people, like, wear crazy stuff. And, like, a lot of people, I mean, mine are very simple, but that's kind of, like, I like it like that.
Yeah.
Some people have, like, crazy, like, huge wire wrapping. I guess, well, I wore this one today because this guy, I actually got this on tour.
Would you mind showing the camera just so everybody else can see it?
It's, like, super small. I don't know. It's a little key. It has, like, an opal in it.
Pretty.
But I brought this because this guy on Twitter, he like makes huge crazy ones, but he like made these keys and I really liked them, so I got it and spent way too much money on it.
That's okay.
As it normally goes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, but basically I just kind of, I mean I've always liked stones too, like growing up my windowsill, like I always had like stones and like shells and stuff, so I just think they're pretty. I've always been drawn to them for some unknown reason, but yeah, so then I tried wrapping and I liked it and I was just like, I could probably sell this for some money, and then yeah, now I'm here.
Very cool. Is this something that you want to do full time, or you mentioned that you're getting a marketing degree earlier before we started recording?
So honestly, I probably won't do it full time. I like kind of just make them as like gifts now. Like I don't know, the business has substantially dropped off. Over summer I was like super into it and really good and like really getting into like my Instagram game and stuff, but
That's the good and the bad thing about Instagram. If you want to work hard at it, it's amazing, but if
You can't really half-ass it at all because it doesn't work.
No.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like now I try posting them and like I don't really feel like anyone really sees them anymore. I feel like I lost followers, but I don't know, it just gets too crazy. It was cool. But over summer I was like really good. I don't know. So yeah, I'll probably just do marketing and stuff after college.
Well, very cool. So what does it mean to you? Why did you get started, other than, I know we've kind of talked a little bit of a backstory with like mental health and it's a creative outlet, so would you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, okay, so I'm always trying to find, I feel like sophomore year, I like really got in a rut and I was just like, why am I not feeling motivated to like do anything, like school, or, well, I also was a cheerleader and I like had quit cheer because it was like, I was literally failing my classes because like work and school and cheer, it was like way too much.
Right.
And I was also just like kind of lonely. It was like before I met Tim. So I feel like I was really, I don't know, just like down in the gutter, I guess you could say. And I was really kind of like, I don't know if soul searching would be like the right like way to describe it, but I kind of just wanted to like, I was like, what will like make me happy and like bring me joy that I can just like kind of do on my free time, because at UW you can't take art classes if you're not an art major.
Right.
Minor.
Yeah, I've tried to take a couple art classes too.
Yeah, it makes me really sad.
I know.
Honestly, but, like,
It really is.
it sucks, but I guess the art college is like super small, so no one really, like, they have to be like that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Now I'm like off track. What was the question?
With your mental health and like a creative outlet.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, I mean, I do like deal with anxiety. I've had like depression bouts and stuff, so I'm pretty sure that's the right word. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know, art just like really makes me happy. So, and like when I was in high school, I went through a really like bad kind of depressive episode, I guess you could say, that lasted for a while, but like I would always like draw whenever I was feeling like super down and like try to put like color in. I don't know, it was really like an expressive thing for me. So that's why, I don't know, I've always just been doing this kind of stuff.
Well, that's really awesome. So you said like you were just kind of naturally drawn to stones, so it just kind of like made sense to do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always thought they were really pretty. Like even before I would like wrap stones and like got really into like knowing different types and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just always like noticed them and like wanted them and had them.
Like in gift shops, I always think about those little stands that just had the pile of rocks. I was,
Yeah, it was like
just
a
wanted to
square
go
wooden
straight
box.
into it, and I would just like sift
It's
them.
like satisfying.
Yeah, and touch them and just be in awe. Every single time I was always like, Mom, I need these rocks. And she's like, you have so many that you've lost at home. But I'm like, I
Yeah.
need more.
Uh-huh.
That's very cool. So what is your like personal favorite thing about stones? Or do you have a favorite stone or?
I mean, I think opals are beautiful. I mean, you guys can see this one. It's like faceted and it's like, I actually learned that opal is made from, it's only in like super hot regions of the world. And
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm pretty sure, okay, I might be wrong, but this is what some guy told me at a stone shop. Basically, it's like, it's a form of glass, I guess, but it's like when the volcanic rock goes under like extreme heat pressure, it like turns into this glass.
Oh wow.
So it's like
That's really cool.
really rare and that you can only find like little bits of it because it's like intense pressure and heat.
Wow.
So I guess there's this place called I think it's called Lightning Ridge in Australia and like Ethiopia. They have like a lot of places that have.
Are they pretty valuable, opal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine
like, they're
that
really
rare.
expensive,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some teeny tiny itty bitty, like smaller than an eraser, or maybe like the size of an eraser on the mechanical pencil, of opal earrings that I got at a like Indian trading post in Cody. It's full of those, and I mean I hope they were real because they were
They
kind
probably
of
are.
expensive.
You can kind of tell when they like. You can tell if they aren't.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean-
it's like there's almost like, because I've seen like this one. It's like it shifts in the light, but with like fake ones, there's like almost like flakes of like iridescent stuff in
Oh,
the.
gotcha.
Like
yeah.
those like sparkles, like or glitter.
Kind of like if you've seen like iridescent like filler for like
Yeah.
presents and stuff, it looks
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
But like chopped up really fine and like put in whatever the material
And
is.
you're
Right.
like, I don't really know if that's real. I've always been
Yeah.
super drawn to turquoise. I love turquoise, and my
Everything
dad's
she has is turquoise.
yeah, all my
That's
like all my
beautiful.
studs and like I have a bunch of rings and everything. But my dad's mom, so my grandma, her parents were jewelers, and they made a lot of stuff by hand. And
Okay.
before my dad died, he gave me, I don't know how or why he had these rings, but he gave me a couple of the turquoise rings, and hey, it's okay, Cooper.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You got your
So
dogs in
cute.
doggy jail.
Yeah, I feel like we should
Let
just
them
let
loose.
them out because they're probably gonna.
No, they'll be
know.
fine. I don't think you can pick super like a far distance from these mics.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
So
I
you
think
probably can't
usually
even
you
hear
can
them.
like tune in.
They're very. I think they're like almost like a shotgun mic where it's kind of
Uh-huh.
just directed in this bubble.
I hope they're good.
Yeah, I mean, our other one is the lav mics are kind of like all inclusive. They try to pick up everything
I'm
around
pretty
it.
sure you could hear that though.
Well, we'll see in post.
That's alright.
So, but yeah, turquoise has always been my very favorite thing, and
Harper,
so
no.
I don't know if anybody like listening or watching knows much about stones as in terms of healing or things like that, but that's one of the things I've always been super interested in. And I was telling Luke before we started filming that it was at like a rock shop or something like that, and they were like, you need to be cleansing your stones, and so I looked up a thing on Pinterest and set them out in the dirt under the full moon to like recharge them. And I was given, what did you say this one was?
Selenite.
Selenite. I was given this one. You can still see the dirt on it from getting it just in the
Recharge.
earth. Yeah. And it's like just protection. So
Yeah.
one time I spoke to a medium, and she found me. I didn't even seek her out. And her and I just got really close, and she gave that to me and was like, always keep it by your bedside. Like, it's going to protect you. It's going to keep you safe. And so, I mean, whether or not that's true, it's in my head now.
it's-
I
so.
think
It's kind of like religion. It's like just something you believe in.
Well,
you
there's
know?
this religion called Taoism, and like this guy I work with, because we've like talked about the stones and stuff.
Right.
'cause I'll like wear them at work, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like I like know exactly what that is."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh dang!" But he like is Taoist, and it's something like stones are a really big part of that religion. Like during the what even was it? The eclipse or no, the blood moon. Is that an
yeah.
eclipse? Is it the same
I
thing?
think it's a lunar eclipse
Yeah.
where the Earth is between the moon and the sun.
Yeah.
I actually learned, not to interrupt you,
You're
but
good.
the reason it's a blood moon is because the Earth absorbs the blue light from the sun. So when the rays of the sun, yeah, the sun emits a bunch of different wavelengths of light,
Oh, okay.
but it absorbs the blue light, and so as it passes around the Earth, the blue light goes in, but the red light doesn't, and so that's why you see the blood moon, the red on the moon, because
Oh,
that's
cool.
what doesn't absorb into the Earth.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
Okay. No, but he said during the blood moon he was like charging his stones.
Yeah.
And he always has a lapis lazuli, I think that's how you say it.
Right.
It's like I think you would really like it if you like turquoise. It's like a dark blue stone and it has like gold like ripples through it.
Oh,
The only reason I know that is because it's in Minecraft.
Yeah.
So I'd add that in there.
But there's like, I don't know, he has a really big one that he like, it's like, people have like pocket stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he like rubs it all the time. So there's literally like an indentation from his thumb.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
One time, my house mother from when I was in Chi Omega, her and I are really close, and I was really stressed and, just going through things, being a college student,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
probably more anxious and depressed than I've been other times, definitely. And she took me to the herb house, and she got me.
That's where I get a lot of my stuff.
Yeah, I love the herb house. One of my friends from Chi Omega actually still works there. I met her through Chi Omega. And it was the tiger's eye.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it
It's
just
like
had,
a brown and gold striped
yeah,
stone.
it had like the word strength carved into it.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, just keep this in your bra. And so I literally I put, whether I was wearing a sports
Was
bra.
it a flat stone?
I mean, it was small. Like it was not like
Was it on
this where she was like, keep it in your bra. No, it was like, like this, like very small.
Right.
Not, you couldn't really tell. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
hey, here's this is in my
Yeah.
shirt. No. But she was like, just to keep it, not to like be weird or anything, she's like, just keep it close to you and just know that it's there and it will provide you strength. And so I did. I wore it in my brow literally every day for like 2 months. And I mean, things got better. I got stronger. And I
Right.
mean, part of it I really do truly believe is that it's like
Harper,
putting it
no.
out into the universe, like
Exactly.
you're believing it and you trust it, and so you're just like, you're radiating that. So whether or not that stone or that crystal actually has a power, you're putting it out there.
Like I said, it's very similar to faith. I mean, Christians don't know if God is real. They don't know if anything that they believe in is real. But, I mean, there are some things, obviously, but for the most part, and you just have something that you believe in, whether, like, we believe a lot in the universe and a higher being and things like that. So it comes down to faith.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
sitting here writing questions, and I was like, Bryce, how do you ask somebody if they're in tune, like, with like a higher consciousness? Like, how do you just slowly ease into that?
Right.
And Bryce was like,
It's a very deep question.
It's like, just write some questions. I don't know. And I was like, I just want to have these deep talks about
Right.
all this kind of stuff.
I can get into it with you if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to.
I mean, so I feel like I call it more of like my spirituality.
Yeah.
Because like I've just had really weird experiences with like churches and stuff. So like, I don't know, going to like Christian churches has just always kind of not been good. I've had like weird experiences and like I haven't really felt welcome that much.
That's
mostly because
a
I'm
big
gay.
reason I don't consider myself a Catholic as much anymore, is because I think the Catholic faith especially is not very welcoming.
Mhm.
And they if you're not Catholic, they kind of make you feel like an outsider. I
Mhm.
definitely agree with that.
Well, so my dad, before he died, this lady was an addiction counselor, and she really like focused on addicts and alcoholics, and her husband created this religion.
Okay.
And one time I went to church with my dad, and it was in a different town because they got kicked out of their space in our hometown. So we drove to a different town for this, and they set up tents in this like ballroom for like a hotel. and they had like swords and like shofars, like the curly horns, like they are very ancient. I don't know, like horns like you blow, and they were like knighting people and dancing under the tents, and I was so scared. Like
Yeah, well, it almost sounds like culty a little bit.
Well, they
I don't know.
they've since then divorced and been in trouble for embezzlement and stuff. So I mean, when my dad died, I checked his firebox, the safety box, and it was like, "Thank you for your donation of $5,000. This will go to your tithing in the kingdom." And average child support average child support in Wyoming, at least when my mom had to get child support, was $500 a kid, and my dad already had to get it lowered to $400, like legally, because he just couldn't afford the full $500.
Yeah.
And so that just like it really messed me up. Like all like the weirdness or whatever aside, I mean, I've really moved past it. But I couldn't go into a church without just bawling, and I knew that normal church, we're Episcopalian, I grew up Episcopalian. I knew that our church in Cody wasn't like that, but I could not walk into a church without just feeling scared. So I get what I mean, like within the terms of having weird experiences, but I've always felt so much closer to the higher power. I do believe in God, but I also believe in other higher powers, but like when I'm outside and things like that, far more than I do when I'm in a church.
Yeah. I feel like, because I kind of had to form my own, like, idea of what it was, because I feel like I went to the church, like, if we're going back to, like, freshman year, that's when I kind of, like, figured out I was, like, gay and stuff.
Of high school or college?
Of high school.
Okay.
So then I feel like I went to, it was, like, a youth group, and I was just, like, I feel like I was trying to, like, find some meaning, or, like, because I was just very confused with my life.
Yeah.
I mean, as
point,
normal, kids are, much less realizing that you're gay. I can't imagine
it's
how
like
tough that was.
crisis.
Right,
But,
exactly.
Well, we've talked about it. I mean, I don't believe that it's a choice or anything, but when we've watched shows or something where the person is gay or lesbian and they finally get to come out, and we talk about, like, could you imagine if, like, it was, like, uncommon or, like, was wrong in air quotes for so long to love each other? Like,
exactly.
we talk about that a lot.
Exactly.
It's scary when you, like, first realize, and, like, I feel like my parents were kind of scared for me just because it's, like, I am gonna have to live, like, a slightly more difficult life than, like, everybody else, but, I mean, you kind of just gain confidence, and it's like, whatever, like,
Well, and it's 100% worth it, to be with someone that you truly love.
Exactly.
Like you said, I cannot imagine finding out that it was quote unquote wrong in society for so long for you and I to be together.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that feeling.
We went to a wedding over summer, and the guys were in their mid to late 30s.
Probably 40, close to,
and they had just, like, literally within the last year come out and planned their wedding.
Right.
And they're, like, ranchmen. Like, it was, in a Wyoming wedding, but just to see them, they were just so emotional on their wedding day. Like, it was
amazing.
Awesome just
it
to
really
see
was.
how happy they were.
Right. Well, because it literally was, like, illegal until 2015
exactly.
in a lot of places, so it's very crazy to think about that, because I mean, I was in high school, so it didn't affect me. I wasn't, like, trying to marry anyone.
Right.
But, like, now that I've, like, possibly will get married, I'm just, like, it's weird to think about that. If it was 10 years ago, it wouldn't be a thing.
Well, you think about where society is right now and how, it's become a lot more accepting, but like you said, just 4 years ago it was illegal. It doesn't even seem real,
It doesn't.
It's really strange.
Yeah. I mean, there were states you could get married in, but
nationally.
Even, I mean, in some places still it's, like, illegal. Like, in Russia, it's literally, like, illegal to be gay.
Right.
Like, have you guys seen the Hozier music video for Take Me to Church?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's, like, all about that kind of stuff. Like, a lot of really bad stuff happens in Russia. But
Bad stuff happens in Russia just in general. Doesn't matter what
category.
True.
Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched Handmaid's Tale or heard about that?
I've watched, like, a couple episodes, and
that reminds me of that, like, the gender traitor.
Well, and because that show is so, based on religion and God, and how women can't read and write, and if you're gay, you're sentenced to death, and it's intense. But I mean, I'm sure there are, like you said, maybe Russia and other places, it's probably similar to that.
I think it's some Hispanic countries, because I think it's really, like, not okay, like, with the Catholic faith. I think that like probably in Mexico and like all the like Hispanic places, or I guess not Hispanic, I'm like really stuck on that, but I don't know, I think you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, and like, you know, growing up in Wyoming, you know, especially as a kid, we weren't exposed to it a lot.
Mhm.
But now, a couple of Kenzie's friends, Tyler and Isaac, they're a couple of our best friends.
Yeah.
You know, and they've been together for a while now.
And they're gonna get married.
Yeah, I know.
And
I think
I'm
they're gonna
so
just do a
happy.
very small one though,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And I'm offended.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
Here we are planning a wedding, and I'm like, why can't people just not get offended if I can't invite them? But here, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm offended.
I'm really offended.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of like where we started. I mean, I think we were kind of just figuring out like where my spirituality kind of lies.
Yeah.
And stuff. So basically, went to the church, wasn't feeling it. So then I was kind of like, well, I was like, what do I believe in then? Because I feel like I always have been like a pretty like in tune person with like my spirituality. Like
Right.
I've always, I don't know, I've like prayed and stuff. Like I guess I still do like pray, but it's more like me kind of just like in my head like, okay, well we were talking about my grandma earlier.
Mhm.
Like I call her Nana. She like died when I was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I like pray to her for some reason. And actually like, oh, my cousin that I was talking about too with like my grandma's middle name,
Mm-hmm.
we've had like detailed conversations about how we like for like no reason at all like feel very connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's, I don't know, I like just pray to her and I kind of like thank her for things. She actually used to live in Laramie. She lived on Rainbow Street. Yeah, she was like married to my papa. He was a teacher at the university.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of like where my spirituality lies, and I feel like she's like watching over me and stuff.
Right.
And
I
get
definitely
that.
get that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the tattoo. So kind of the evolution of my tattoo. I can't really show it because I'm wearing like a whole skirt right now, but like she wrote me and my sisters like a book like kind of because we were so young when she died.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of like it's like photos of us with her, but then she also has like a lot of like guidance and
Mhm.
stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
cool.
yeah, she like said funny things, but I like on my arm I have like she would always sign things like I love you Nana with like a smiley face.
Mhm.
So I have like that in her handwriting on here. But I like originally when I was in high school I actually wanted to have like a cross on the inside of my arm because I was kind of like just confused and I was
Right.
like, well I feel like I'm Christian but also I
I
don't
think that's
know.
what a lot of people do too.
Exactly, but then, like, since I wanted it there and that was kind of like my spiritual symbol, I guess,
Mhm.
I was like, I guess it all kind of lies with her. I mean, I do like, I feel like when I pray, I like talk to her, but then I'm also like, God, Jesus, or whoever's up
Right.
there, you know?
Yeah,
I just kind of
definitely.
like say those things, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like, especially when I'm like really nervous to drive, I sometimes just get this like crazy anxiety driving. And
me too, I feel
Yeah,
like,
and so one time this medium, I see her every now and then, she told me, she was like, when you get nervous in the car, you should know that your dad is there with you.
Mhm.
And so like the thing that I do is I just like look to the passenger seat. I don't really get nervous with Bryce because usually if it's scary, he's driving.
Right.
And I trust him. But like if I'm alone and it's scary, I just like look to the passenger seat and I'm like, hi Dad, I'm glad you're here. Like I know it's gonna be okay. And then I carry on with my drive and I just like, I feel him there. Like I feel it.
Yeah, I feel like I've had some experiences too where I like things in the car I've like
Mhm.
barely scathed and I'm just like I feel like that was like her protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel you on that.
Yeah. Well, it's just like my dad died from alcoholism and he wasn't. So this is my thing that I have in the last year and a half or so really had to accept is that when I say my dad's an alcoholic, it doesn't matter what you, even though like I'm marrying
Or
you,
anyone
or
thinks.
anybody listening thinks like it doesn't matter what you think about my dad.
And
It
working
does,
on like not making excuses for
Yeah,
it. So
and
you don't
not-
have to justify him to
No,
anyone.
I don't have to be like he was an alcoholic, but he was a really good guy. Like
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have to explain that to anybody. I'm trying to think. Oh, but my dad. I know my dad loved me. I know he did, and I do know deep down that he was a good guy. He just struggled with a literal illness. You know, I do think you don't consciously make the choice to become an alcoholic, but the little choices you make add up.
Yeah, you can kind of like slip into.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I do think that he chose to drink instead of deal with his problems, which was irresponsible. But I mean, everything happens for a reason. I don't like hold a grudge with it, but I believe that he takes so much better care of me now than he could when he was here, because now he's just free of his disease. Like, it was always holding him back. It was always, it had him, like it had total control over him. But I feel like, I talked about this before, like the things that have happened since he died, nothing is like, oh, meeting you was worth losing my dad.
exactly.
None of it was
Yeah.
worth it. But I mean, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in Laramie. I would have stayed in Cody or
Right.
Powell, because I was the only one really that would fully check on him and, worry about him. So there was no way I could have gone 6 hours away. But
Yeah.
so he's just set up and looked out for me a lot since he's passed away, and done, I feel like, more than he could have while he was here. But that's how I find comfort in it,
Yeah.
Right.
And it's different for everybody. But yeah, so that's, I can't really
Alcoholism is
remember.
like crazy too. I'm like in this class actually called Drugs and Behavior. It's like a psychology class. I'm
Mhm.
taking it as an elective, and it's
Mhm.
actually really interesting because it's like you learn like kind of like the biological and like psychological things of like what happens when you're like right now we are literally talking about addiction and stuff,
Mhm.
and it's like crazy because I mean a lot of people that are addicted to stuff like they keep using because your body feels like trash when you stop.
Right.
So it's literally just like you guys know like homeostasis,
Mhm.
basically like your body compensating for things. It's like your body literally like knows that it like needs that since like it's been happening for so long, so your
Yeah.
body literally like drops in homeostasis, so your like whole body feels disgusting. So it's like a lot of people don't even do it because they like want to be doing it.
Right.
It's just like they have to do it.
Yeah.
And or they can like go through the like long treatments and stuff.
Well, because I think the mindset is I can do this and it makes me feel like I can, like in your dad's case, I can drink and it probably makes me feel more normal, and because that's how my body, that's what my body thinks it needs.
Yeah.
Or I can go through this grueling process to try to get clean. That's going to be painful and I'm going to
Yeah.
feel terrible, and I think that's why people just try to take, the quickest way to feel better.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
like with my dad, the difference, because his dad was an alcoholic too,
Mhm.
and so I think the biggest difference between me and my dad is that my dad had the mindset where he was like, I'm gonna prove that I can do what my dad did and not become an alcoholic. Like,
Yeah.
he needed to prove that, and whereas I'm like, I don't need to prove, I don't need to do the same thing and prove I'm stronger or I'm, more tough or I'm better. I just I don't even need, I enjoy going out, I enjoy drinking with my
Yeah.
friends, but I don't need to constantly have it and constantly do it and be like, I'm not gonna be like him. Like, I don't need to set myself up like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me any less or any more weak, but I feel like that's the difference too between men and women, especially boys and their dads or men and their dads.
I feel like you see it. So
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I think especially men are just more prideful in general. So it's kind of like, my dad did that, but I can drink and it won't affect me.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think it's kind of like trying to prove yourself, and I think women do that too, but I definitely think it's more, prevalent in men, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think so, definitely. Let's see. Do you have anything else where you want to go with this? We're talking about.
I want to know what do you want to do after college with your degree?
So I want to do media and advertising because I am marketing right now. But I think I'm actually gonna, because back to the creative thing, I absolutely cannot do a job where I'm sitting down every day and in a cubicle and just
No.
I can't do that. I need to have something that's constantly changing, or else I just get mentally unstimulated, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened with my last position. I was marketing coordinator of the bookstore, and I just kind of sat in an office. And yes, there were days where I'd get content, but for the most part, I was just kind of sitting in front of a computer, and it just drained me. And I was like, I want to be out in the field. I want to be
Exactly.
doing things.
And I need to work with people.
Exactly.
I would much, much, much rather be part of a team.
That's exactly what I said. Being the head of marketing at the bookstore, I think it's overwhelming for one person. I think it's overwhelming in general. But I want to be able to collaborate with people that are, have the same mindset, the same goal in mind.
So that you feel like motivated
Exactly.
to like keep doing things. And I like just read comfort zone on your wall and I'm like, get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
Exactly.
So you just keep progressing and like getting better.
Yeah, and like challenging each other. I think that's one reason why Bryce and I really like being able to work together.
Mhm.
Well, first of all, that we're a couple and we can't work together. We really love that. It's really special, but we're just like the perfect opposites. Like we're both marketing and advertising and media, but he's more technical and he's not creative, but then
Yeah.
I'm more of the creative, like let's add a little more humor, like
Right.
let's do this, let's do that. And it just it just feels better, like to work with somebody.
Well, and when you work with people, you hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So if someone's slacking, you can say, hey, we need to start working harder on this.
I mean, we even do that at home.
It's hard to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Very hard.
We've been struggling with that a lot lately, but
Right.
like writing schedules and stuff. And so I want to talk about gratitude. What do you like, just how you said you like thank your grandma a lot or your nana?
So do you have like kind of like a definition of gratitude so I can kind of like go off of it?
So we have these 5-minute journals and
We're actually doing a giveaway on our Instagram page,
Yeah.
Instagram.com/Bryce and Kenzie.
go check it out.
Selfless.
Sorry.
plug.
Yeah, exactly. Keep going.
Basically this goes in line with the universe and how we feel about that, like just thanking, like giving gratitude, like being thankful for, like thank you for this day, thank you for, even if it's in the future things that you want, expressing the gratitude now, like thank you for my job in Austin, Texas, or thank you for that opportunity, even things like tonight in my 5-minute journal, gratitude that I'm going to express is you coming here and like sharing and opening up with us, things like that.
I think it's just being openly thankful and like putting what you're thankful for out into the world.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely do that, honestly. I mean, I am very, like, in my head all the time. It's not, like, a bad thing, but, like, sometimes I seriously will get on, like, a thought train and I'm like, okay, it's, how did I get here?
Yeah, I have to do that too. You try to backtrack to see how you got there.
And then you're just stressed because you're backtracking.
Yeah.
You
And
can't
then I'm like,
remember.
wait, this is too much work.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep thinking about something else. But I don't know. I like think a lot, and I kind of like self-reflect like a lot, and I feel like I do like put out into the universe. Mostly if I'm like praying, that is like what I'm doing. I'm like, thank you for like this, like please help me with this, like blah blah blah. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I always just think about being thankful kind of for like where I am and like how I've got here and just like how it could be so much worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things is to be thankful during the tough times. Like about a year ago, Kenzie and I were in a real rut. We were trying to finish school and just didn't know what we wanted to do.
And decided to get a dog with a few months left of our final semester, so
Right.
we were not sleeping.
But I think those are the moments that it's most important to be thankful because it's it's all about finding that silver lining even when life doesn't feel like it's going your way. So
yeah. Have you ever heard of Letterkenny? It's on Hulu. It was just like a YouTube video.
yeah.
They always say, he literally always says like, could be worse, better to find a silver lining.
Well,
It's just this dumb show.
at the beginning they always it's like it's a Canadian town and it's all about like these hicks and hockey town, but it's hilarious. They'll always start with me and my buddies were picking rocks around the field the other day. It's so great.
But it's just like they always talk about, that's one thing that they really hit on.
Mhm.
And I kind of feel like that's like subliminal messaging almost. Like we watch it to laugh. But it's in my head now. Like
Right.
here we're having this serious conversation and I'm thinking about how even old Wayne on Letterkenny has like is always talking about could be worse. You know?
Exactly.
I just think it's good to be thankful because like I feel like if you don't take time to be like, okay, this is what I have, this is what other people don't have, and then like I just feel like a lot of people can get like caught up in like a lot of details and like really think that things are way worse than they are when like it's seriously like it could be so much worse.
Yeah.
There's a sports broadcaster, Colin Cowherd, that I watch a lot, and his famous quote is, the highs are never as high as they seem, and the lows are never as low as they seem. You
Well,
know?
and one of my favorite things, like my high, like my Cooper, my just best feelings is remembering how bad it felt and how down you felt and how hard it felt, and then here you are however many months later and you're like,
Exactly.
I did that, like
Right.
I got through that. And it's not to say like you did it all by yourself, like obviously there's help and support and
Yeah.
you know, all that kind of stuff, but the good news is you're in control and the bad news is you're in control.
Right.
And so it just feels good when you are able to like be the one that pulls yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it is your choice. Like people can want it for you so bad, and
You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
you want to ask some of the Tim Ferriss questions?
Yeah, I got a couple.
So what is Tim Ferriss?
So Tim Ferriss is, I don't even know what to call him. He's an influencer. He's a New York Times bestselling author, but he writes this book called Tribe of Mentors.
Okay.
And basically what he does is he interviews 100+ people who are at the top of their field. So you ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? He's a marketer, but he interviews like Terry Crews, really high-end actors, singers, a bunch of different things. But he
People
has
like The Rock, you know,
Okay.
like
people who are in their field at the top of their field.
And you need to like know how to interview. Like,
Yeah,
Well.
right, exactly. But he has a set of questions that he asked, and so one thing that I'm always curious about with our guest is when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused and unmotivated, what do you do to kind of pull yourself out of that?
I mean, again, I can like get really in my head, so like I can seriously get distracted easily,
Mm.
and I feel like I have to like, well, honestly, okay, so I saw a therapist like once, and I guess I saw her a couple times actually, but like my insurance is in Colorado, so it's like kind of annoying because I have to like go to Colorado and it's just a thing. But she told me this quote. I think it's Buddhist, and it's like your mind is a sky. It's like very symbolic, but like your mind is a sky, and every passing thought is a cloud, and it's your choice whether to like engage in it or not. So sometimes I like think about that because I'll be like thinking about so many things, and then I'm just like, okay, I'll kind of like take a pause and be like, why are we getting so distracted right now on like little details that do not matter at all? And it almost can be like anxiety. Like I'll be sitting there and I'm just like thinking about what I need to be doing, like where I need to be going, like all these different things.
Right.
But I feel like just kind of being like conscious of like that you're getting distracted over literally nothing.
I think that's really important too. What I've started to do lately, and I actually read in from one of the people that he interviewed, was to basically what I think is like with my breathing, I think of like taking a breath in and then taking a breath out, and I feel it like right in the middle of my sternum.
Yeah.
And every time I get distracted or think about things that I don't need to be thinking about, I try to just pull myself back and focus on that spot and focus on like what it feels like to breathe in and breathe out, and it kind of puts my mind at ease and then gets me back on track thinking about things that are productive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
breathing is really important.
It really is.
honestly.
And I think focusing on that breathing and just consciously, focusing on the feeling of breathing.
Yeah,
that's why I
well,
want you to take yoga with me.
I know,
Yoga's
that'd be
the
fun.
best.
I've never done it, but I think I would enjoy it for
His
sure.
brother's like a master yogi.
Yeah, Yogi.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
that's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Oh yeah, I never heard that. But they live in Colorado, and he got, what did he get, like
Just like a shout out.
member of the month or
Yeah.
something? Yeah, they're really into yoga, my brother and sister-in-law.
Yoga is really nice though, because you can like really, like I feel like, I honestly haven't been doing it, but like, I think it's because I just don't know where to go, and like, it's at like 6 a.m.
I know.
I am not
That's
a morning person.
not, we are not either.
Yeah, so I just can't do that, but
No.
like, you can really like, I feel like, well, because it's literally like meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
So you literally just kind of like, I don't know, it's really nice.
I want to try hot yoga,
That's what I always did.
because I really,
it's like a workout, but then
Right.
also you like leave and you're like, I just feel very like sound and centered. right
yeah,
now.
we have rec center memberships, and I've really enjoyed going in the sauna. And I think like being in a sort of sauna, but like doing yoga and stretching and things like that would be
Yeah.
really productive.
I heard, like-
stretching and stuff is just good as you get older.
Oh,
My
yeah,
mom
100%.
is literally 59, like a few days ago, and she stretches every single day, and she is more flexible than I am right
Yeah.
now.
You
100%.
have to, or else your body just like.
I know,
Shrivels
like
up.
I keep looking at my posture, and it's
Mhm.
because I need to like open up and just kind of like stretch it out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
have you guys seen the new thing that came out where you like I don't know if you like stick it to like your chest or something, or no, I think you
Yeah,
put it
you
on
put
your
it on your
back,
back.
and it's like on your phone, and it like shows you how you should be like sitting.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
it like
gosh.
tells you. It,
I don't
like,
know if I could
alerts
do
you.
that because mine would tell me my posture is terrible every time.
Well, it's
So
like
bad.
just in a really weird place. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
on your,
like-
on the back of your
Like
neck.
right, like here.
You almost need like a brace that just goes kind of
They
around your
make 'em.
shoulders to
They
like
make like
keep
posture
your chest out.
sports bras and
Yeah,
braces and
yeah.
stuff. I'm like,
You know what I think like kind of ruined a lot of girls' postures? Like you know how some bralettes they just like go around your neck?
oh yeah.
I feel like it
Oh,
like
yeah.
pulls you like that.
Yeah,
I always
it's
get
just
so
kinda like
whenever I
this.
see a girl wearing it, I'm like, I don't think you should be wearing that for your posture. It's
Right.
cute,
For your
but
posture,
no.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, I just get like the shoulders like just kind of tucked in, and I'm
It's
like,
just comfy.
but
slouch,
what I
you
tell
know?
myself, I'm like, it's so much more comfortable and better for you to sit like this. I know it's hard right now, but just
Yeah.
muscle through it.
I just try to do like a lot of like core workouts and stuff so that it like, cause it just helps with like propping
Right.
Yeah.
your body up. That
It's not as much
sounds so
work
weird.
to stand up straight.
I'll like
Exactly.
lay on the foam roller with it just like down the center of my back.
Yeah.
Rex is like, what are you doing?
She'll lay there for like 45 minutes and I'm like, Kinsey, don't you want to get up?
I'm like,
Aren't you
no,
uncomfortable?
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to hot yoga though,
True.
I've heard articles like, or I've read articles. I've read articles. It's like hot yoga is really bad for your muscles, and then I've read ones where it's like it's really good. And
You know
I
who's
just
a big advocate for hot yoga?
let me guess.
Guess.
Tim Ferriss,
Close.
Gary Vee.
Nope.
I don't know.
One more. Give me one more. Who's another one of my favorite
Joe
podcasts?
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. You know who Joe Rogan is?
I don't think so.
He's a UFC commentator and he hosts
He
the Joe
is
Rogan
literally
podcast, or
like-
Joe Rogan Experience.
The man's version of Oprah.
Yeah, but he's like tatted up, super big, like does
Smokes
MMA.
blunts like on his podcast,
Yeah.
like videos.
Have you seen the
of-
video of Elon Musk smoking weed?
I don't think so.
But that was on his podcast.
Okay.
But he's like a really awesome dude too. And every October, him and who Bert Kreischer is, and
I like don't know any of these people.
I don't
I'm
literally.
so sorry.
The only reason
Segura.
I do know these people is because of him.
Yeah,
and
but-
I'm still kind of like, yeah.
he's also a stand-up comedian. And like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, they're all stand-up comedians too. But they do Sober October. And so what they do is they don't drink or smoke or anything during the month of October. And every single day together they go to hot yoga. That's their thing. And
I mean, it's like kind of just something to do so you like distract
Right.
from like
Mhm.
the drinking. And
exactly. But they love it. I mean, they hate it, but they love how how they feel at the end of the month.
Stuff. You
Yeah.
seriously feel really good.
You
Right.
never leave like. You hate going,
It
but
sucks
you
in the
never
process.
leave feeling like I regret that.
And even the next day when you're sore, it's like, yeah, I'm sore, but like it feels good. You know, it feels like you did something.
yeah.
I feel like the best part is at the end too when you just like lay there and like you just think, yeah, with your palms up to the
Yes.
universe.
Meditating
Yeah,
and laying
exactly.
there. I just also hate how expensive it is. Like,
Yeah, I had it in like a gym membership when I was in high school and like my parents paid for it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Do
And
they
I
have it at the rec center?
no,
Hot
they
yoga?
have it at Ahisma. I think that's how you say
Is
it.
that the place that's
It
like
used
by
to be,
Safeway?
yeah, it used to be Hot Power
Yeah.
Yoga. Or
Oh,
Power
okay.
Hot Yoga. I used to go there. Sorry,
It's okay.
it's like bent.
I've heard people like that place.
Yeah, I went there for a long time. Like,
Is it expensive though?
It's. I mean, I'm also just out of college, but even like when I was in college, it's definitely more expensive. They have.
That microphone's gonna pick up every sound when you touch it.
They have good deals, I think, about like if you buy unlimited for a month, it's a really good deal if you go every single day. But I'm so bad at that. Like
It favors the people that go every day, but we are not the people that
yeah.
wake up and we're like, let's go work out.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't like fit into your schedule. Too.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
no. And yeah, it's just I just hate getting up in the morning and it's cold outside and
That's why I want to move to Austin, Texas, because it would be
Exactly.
like it would be so
Okay.
much easier to take the dogs out when it's February and 60, 70 degrees and
yeah.
not windy as it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tim want to like end up in California so
Yeah.
that it's like just nice.
All
Exactly.
the time. I've applied to a couple jobs.
I told Kenzie, I said, we can move, but we are moving south. I don't care how far south, but every time we move, we're going to go farther south.
Yeah, our friends are like, we're we're moving to Sheridan. You should move with us. We're like, not south. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can't move north.
Can't move any more north.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need more sunshine. I just feel like I'm a happier, nicer person.
Well, we've talked about this. Seasonal depression is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
we
my
feel it,
gosh.
especially here. Like when you look outside and it's just
bad in Wyoming.
blowing and
Yeah.
cold, you don't want to do anything.
No.
You know.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like school never helps either.
No. Having to go outside and walk to class and
That's the main reason why I would not go to class.
Yeah.
Is because it's so cold.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like my sophomore year, we had a snow day,
I heard about that.
and it was the best ever. But then all the
Right,
rest of the times,
first one, the only one of all time.
yeah, all the rest of the
Yeah.
times were like, it's -50 with a wind chill. Bundle up, have fun at class.
Yeah, they give out warnings but can't cancel
And you're
class.
like, you will get frostbite if you expose your skin, but have fun walking to class. You're
I've
like,
had teachers that have canceled class because of the weather. and I'm
Yeah,
like, you are a saint.
yeah,
You
God
know?
bless you.
No kidding.
Seriously.
You have any more questions?
Yeah, I want to know, do you have goals? Like, what do you do with goal setting?
I actually was writing down my goals the other day, like literally last week, because I was just like, well, I'm trying to get an internship this summer in Boulder, because that's where Tim and I kind of want to go, like, after college.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just want to be back in Colorado. I really miss it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to find internships. And like just thinking about like a career and stuff. Like I really want to be just like motivated and stuff. Sometimes it gets hard because school kind of like, I don't know. It really bores me. Like it always has. Like when I was in elementary school, I literally would like think in my head like, why do I have to be here?
Right.
So I don't know. It's never been like, because I always like doing creative things. I honestly like wish I went to an art college instead of a normal college, but like coming out of high school and like the town I grew up in, like they push you to go like so traditional.
Right.
So
I feel like even like just society as a general, like
yeah.
as a whole, is like people our age really push us to like get a college degree, like ooh.
Exactly. But I guess my goals like right now is to, finish college, obviously, get the hell out of Wyoming.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really want to get like an internship or like just a good job that's like social media advertising. I'm actually like planning on trying to teach myself like graphic design and like how to make like videos and content and stuff because like I've just noticed that with like brands and stuff, like the ones that are like really big, it's I think mostly because of like their marketing. Like,
Oh,
right.
that's literally like
yeah.
people can get so bought into marketing. Like something looks pretty, okay, I'm gonna buy it even if I don't have the money for it.
Exactly.
So I really want to teach myself like graphic design. I'm gonna get like a new computer. Like I want a Mac. I have an HP and I hate it. I want a Mac just
You
because
need
it-
Apple for
for
creativity.
creative stuff. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to do the Adobe thing, learn that because that's like really I'm trying to think of the right word. Prevalent and attractive to like businesses that I'm trying to go into, I guess.
I'll tell you, I have a ton of video experience and I'm all self-taught. It's not that difficult to do.
No,
Yeah,
and
with-
once
with
you
all
get
the
a hand, then it's just learning little things to
with
like
all the
find.
resources online, you can teach yourself a lot of
Yeah.
I'm playing on YouTube.
Exactly. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of great resources out there for sure.
Yeah. So I want to do that. I want to move to Boulder. It's gonna be like expensive, but I think like I'll just be happier there. Like
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
We're the same place.
I like having like, I'm from Colorado Springs and like there's huge mountains like on the side of the highway that like I'd walk outside every day and like I see them and like I just like I have such like an appreciation for like nature and also I feel like kind of I don't know, nature like makes me feel really creative and like I noticed that like I also want to go to the beach because like dolphins have been my favorite animal my whole life.
Give me some nucks for that. Dolphins
Yeah.
are by far my favorite
Dolphins
animal.
are the best and they're super smart, but also I've just felt like very connected to the ocean. Like
Water is huge for me.
And
like,
mountains, same
water
thing.
and mountain, like yeah, I have a very big emotional tie. Like I need water near me. I don't care if it's the ocean. I don't care if it's a lake,
Right.
a reservoir. I don't care, but I need it.
I love the ocean.
Preferably
like,
not frozen like here too.
Oh, no, it's nice when you can actually go in it.
Exactly.
And it's like a giant bath.
Right.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. forgot what I was talking about.
Goals.
Yeah. I don't know.
Talking about like how when you walk out the door when you're in Colorado Springs and can see the mountains.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just want to be somewhere that's like really pretty.
Mhm.
Like Wyoming is super flat and just like uninspiring.
Pause. You need to come to Cody.
Well, I've been to Yellowstone and like I have family in
Yeah.
Sundance and stuff, so like the northern Wyoming by like Montana and the Dakotas,
Right.
super pretty. I can give it that. I'm
Mhm.
saying this area of Wyoming, like
Yeah.
Cheyenne, Laramie, like
Brutal.
super flat.
I mean, even all the way. I mean, I guess Casper has mountains.
Those are hills at best.
It's just not the same.
No,
I
it's
get what
really
you
not.
mean. Like,
Well, like,
I need
yeah.
green. Like I
Mhm.
need growth and I need life
Right.
and energy.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
The like main peak in Colorado Springs is called Pikes Peak and it's like a 14er. So it's like huge.
Yeah.
And I actually want to get like the topographic map of it like tattooed on me.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I love it. And there's like so many like hiking trails and stuff, so like I'm always like either looking at it or like on it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I like. This is one thing we were talking about today about moving to Austin. Like, it might be expensive and we might not have money to do things, but there's so many places to go. Even just walking downtown and like looking at shops, like having things to do, like trails to go on, things like that, or not
Yeah.
being freezing cold every time you step out the door.
Right.
I'm like not to hate, like this town is cute.
Mm-hmm.
And the summers are fun for
the
sure.
summers, it's so nice. The
Right.
weather's like perfect. It's 70,
And like
it's green. it
early
rains.
fall, like football season and stuff, it's
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
But just the
I need
8
that
months
all year
of winter
round. Like,
are just 8 months of winter is
8
brutal.
months is so bad.
Oh man, like where you're from, Colorado Springs, I read a couple weeks ago they have 300 plus days of sunshine.
Uh-huh.
You know.
we were looking at Colorado Springs pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
2018, it got voted the 3rd best place to live. Behind second is Denver, first is Austin, Texas.
Well, it's like it's just so beautiful. I
Right.
think that's why, and it's so like underrated because I think everyone when they think of Colorado, they think of like Denver, which honestly, Denver is like it's fun, it's cute, whatever. It's a
Yeah.
big city, but like Colorado Springs is literally like also a huge city. It's like, and I think it's way more beautiful because like the
Oh,
mountains
yeah.
in Denver, like people only like go
It's
to
like
Denver.
you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's literally
those
like
mountains.
off in the distance.
Whoa,
I can
those
barely
are
tell.
great."
Yeah, but I don't know. I think people just like living there because it's like it's really safe, even though it's a really big city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like resources. I mean, obviously, it's not gonna have as many resources as like Boulder has like everything.
Mhm.
Denver has like a lot of stuff, obviously, but. I don't know. It's like was really good to grow up there,
Right. I
Because
think
it's like
It's a
yeah.
big town, but I think it's kind of a family town where
It's all like
it's-
suburbs.
exactly. It's
There's
not
still, like,
huge buildings
downtown.
and.
There is actually a downtown that has like huge buildings.
Oh really?
and stuff.
I guess
Yeah.
I've never been there, but
It's okay.
but some of the houses they just
we
seem
like
it's very
drove
homey.
in and then had to leave.
Yeah, it's a
We, like,
very homey town.
It
It
is
seems
really
like.
home.
Yeah.
I like.
for sure.
I love visiting now that I'm like away. But I really liked it when I lived there too. Like I know a lot of people that I grew up with. They're like, I want to get out of here. This place sucks. And I'm like, bro, this is like a very nice city.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel about Cody.
People
It's
say
just
that about
like,
Laramie, and I'm like, you're pretty wrong about that.
I'm like, I don't think you've seen other places.
Exactly.
Have you left the state?
Yeah.
I mean,
If it could, if,
everybody's
like,
different. It's okay.
like I said, if Laramie could be summer year round, like a lot of other places are, the summers here are just perfect.
Yeah.
It never gets really above 80, 85 degrees.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will always miss, especially if we move down south where it's more humid, is how blue the skies are here.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
sunsets, they are gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are really, really pretty,
So,
but
I don't know. I just think you need to live somewhere that makes you feel inspired.
Well,
Yeah.
Kizzy and I always say we can come back whenever we want. We can live close to because most of our family is here, and we can live close and be close to family. But we gotta go explore.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to.
you really do. Like, if you stay in one place, then like you just kind of become like.
You just get complacent.
That's what I was. That's the exact word I
Yeah.
was like just gonna say.
Yeah.
But
stagnant. It just, and for some people that's totally great, and that's, it's okay if that's what you love and enjoy, but
Mhm.
I like I get bored easily.
Yeah, me too.
And like my
And
mom has lived in Cheyenne for 25 years
Yeah.
and she really enjoys it. But also before she moved there, she lived in Japan and
Yeah.
she's from
Yeah.
Virginia and been to a ton of different places.
Yeah, that's like my cousin actually. She moved back to Sundance, but
Mhm.
she was like a professional polo player. And
Oh,
she went to
cool.
she was in Florida all the time and also Argentina.
Right.
So like she was like, I've lived that. Like I've seen
Exactly.
what I've done all the exciting stuff. She's like, it just feels nice to be like home. And
Mhm.
honestly, like our family's ranch is like breathtaking. Like I completely understand why she moved
Right.
back and wants to like live there. She like opened a pizza shop and
Oh,
that's just like her
fun.
life.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
One of my dreams is just me and my brother always talk about opening up a food truck
Mhm.
and just living somewhere, like a small town. It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I want to have like a little store.
Did you take information management?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how you had to like create a business.
Mhm.
Ours was like a nacho food truck.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're actually, Double Dubs in town.
Yeah.
We're having Trent on the podcast next week.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm really
cool.
excited about that.
We gotta
That'd
go
be
do it in
fun.
this bus.
Yeah, it is
That's
double-decker
so
bus.
cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
I ate there during. I feel like Laramie always during summer also has like random like street fairs.
Yeah,
for no
100%.
reason.
No
I
reason.
never
We
know
like
what it-
shut down downtown and
Yeah, I think I ate on the double-decker bus during like Jubilee.
we have
days.
yet to go there,
Mm-mm.
but Double Dubs is so
It's
good.
really.
Oh
Bryce
gosh.
is a wingman.
Yeah,
for sure.
some of the
Like,
best wings I've ever had.
He loves wings.
Yeah.
Well, they have that like thing called I think it's like shrapnel, right?
Yeah.
It's like the little chicken thing. Those are so good.
Right.
Oh, you have no what?
It's like almost like popcorn chicken kind of.
Kind of, but it's like in little like it's almost like very miniature chicken strips.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I've had them once. They're really good.
Really good, and you get them by like the half pound and 1 pound, I think.
And I love the like military theme, how they call it shrapnel. It's
Uh-huh.
fun.
I really like their like business. I
Yeah,
think
it's so unique.
a really
It's
good idea.
marketing.
Yeah, it really is.
And the brand they've created.
Food trucks like low key do well in Laramie, I feel like.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
But
That's what I wanna
honestly-
have at a wedding.
Yeah.
It's food trucks.
We
Like,
went
that
down
was so
to- I
cute.
went
And
to a-
variety.
I went to a farmer's
Mhm.
market with my brother and sister-in-law, like I said, are in Commerce City.
Yeah.
And we went to a farmer's market, and I mean, there are food trucks lined down the street
Uh-huh.
down there. There are so many.
There's a business I think that's out of Colorado Springs, and they're called the Trough Bar. And they
Okay.
converted an old horse trailer into this bar that you can rent, and how they are able to like get by with all the alcohol is you tell them like I want these cocktails, and then they get all the like mixers and everything, and they have all the equipment, obviously like the shakers and stuff.
Mhm.
They bring the horse trailer and you give them the alcohol, like you go buy it.
Oh.
It is so cool.
They can like totally bypass liquor license and things like that.
Because the person that's hiring them is the one like buying the alcohol and giving it to them. So I would love to do that.
Yeah.
During the summer in Cody, Bryce and I work for a lemonade stand and we want to buy it.
Yeah.
Like the whole
You
crank
squeeze the
lemon-
lemons
yeah.
and they do strawberry smoothies.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
it's so fun.
Yeah,
I love that kind of stuff.
you know. It'd be fun to just have a food truck and a lemonade stand and just travel the nation doing that.
I need
Oh, it'd be
space.
so much fun.
I need a house.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but like,
Bryce is like, I want to live in a tiny home, and I'm like, I could fill 6 of them
I could live in an
myself.
RV too. that'd be
I
great.
want to live in like a mansion. I'm like, I need space.
So I need a room for
That's exactly what
a
kids
room,
do.
and I need a closet room, and I need a craft room, and I
Exactly.
need an
Oh,
office.
I need a craft room for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Especially doing this stuff. Me and Tim always talk about it. We're like, because when I'm like wrapping these, seriously, like you get like little pieces of wire everywhere
Yeah.
because you like
Mhm.
are cutting them. You're like twisting it, like little pieces fly across the room,
Oh.
and Tim gets like not like annoyed, but he's just like, okay, you need to like have a space for this
Right.
because I'm stepping and there's wire in my toe now.
Yeah, if we weren't gonna
Yeah.
move in, or at least it's up in at the end of April. If we weren't gonna move, we were gonna convert the spare room to a podcast room because when we work on the podcast, just papers and stuff
Uh-huh.
I need
everywhere.
to spread out. I need
Yeah.
space.
Well, and it's just have you seen it on Netflix the new show with Maria Konda.
Maria-
Oh, the organizing
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, I think that's all we've watched
Yeah.
too. But she always talks about everything needs to have a home.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, if we, are doing work, we need to have a designated space for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that'd
show
be
is
nice.
really
Not our
influential,
dining table.
honestly.
It really is.
Yeah.
I like actually
Sure.
think about it. Like the other
It's
day, I had
okay.
to. My thermostat is broken, or not my thermostat, my furnace.
Oh,
is,
no.
It's just like not working. But like, it's in like the storage room, and it's
Right.
kind of like a long hallway. And we just had stuff everywhere, and
Yeah.
I was like, I need to organize this because I can't even get to the furnace.
Exactly.
So I literally pulled everything out, and I was like, because you know how she's like, similar shapes and like use like need to be together.
Right.
I was like organizing everything into like little stacks.
Yeah.
Or not stacks, but like groups of things. And then honestly, I had so much room in there now.
I know.
Half the room is open, and I'm like,
I actually read an article that said thrift store, like, donations went up so much after that show came out.
Really?
Because people are just trying to get rid of stuff.
I mean, that's yeah.
I mean, we were going through our closet today, and you know how she talks about if something doesn't, feel special to you, you should get rid of
Spark
it.
joy.
Spark joy.
Exactly.
You think about how many things don't spark joy in your closet, and you can
Yeah.
just toss. It's crazy.
The lady I nanny for, though, she goes, I don't agree with Marie Kondo because, or whatever her name is.
I know. I can never remember it.
She goes, because if it didn't spark joy, I wouldn't own it. And I was like, okay, you're right.
Fair point.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's true.
It's funny
She's like, I
because-
got nothing to get rid of.
yeah.
When she actually does. We all do. 100%.
Yeah. I like remember hearing the like spark joy thing actually because I had a friend that was Japanese growing up and her mom like had the book.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in like 5th grade we would like make jokes about like, does this spark joy to you? And then the
Oh
show
my
came out and I was like, why do I remember / know what this is?
Exactly.
You're like, oh.
Because her book's been out for a long time, hasn't
Yeah, I think so. Because I think, well, she has like a kid and stuff. I was
Right.
just about to be like, I think she's really old, but I actually don't think she's
I
super
think she's like
old.
30, 40.
Yeah, I think she was just like successful young.
Exactly.
That's another one of my goals actually. I want to be
Same.
successful at a very young age.
I don't want to be in my like 40s.
Where you finally find success and
Yeah, no.
I want to retire at
Yeah,
25.
honestly,
Seriously.
a dream.
Me
Yeah.
too. That's next year. So
I
can we
just-
get started.
so-
I just want to like I said, I just want to do our own thing, work for ourselves, travel when we
Yeah.
want, but be young enough to enjoy it.
yeah.
I don't want to be 70 and like, oh, I feel like I can get in a car and travel and you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
On
So-
Hulu, Paris and London, I think, have an awesome commercial right now. It's like an ad, and it's young people in Paris, and then it's to old people in Paris, and then it's like young people in London, like doing the eye and all that kind
Enjoying
of stuff.
themselves.
And they're like, don't wait till this, and
Yeah.
the old people are like,
Yeah.
on the boat tours, just like,
Grumpy.
I think
yeah.
people just get like scared to
Yeah.
like, because traveling and stuff can be like terrifying for
It
some
really
people.
can.
But it like opens
Yeah.
your eyes to like so many different like cultures and stuff.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I actually working at Ribbon Shop this summer, a bunch of people travel to Yellowstone, and I met like a bunch of people from like different countries and
Mhm.
stuff,
yeah.
and they always like would be like, you are uncultured, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I am not racist whatsoever, but we went to Arizona a year and a half ago,
Mhm.
almost 2 years ago, and I didn't understand why there were people just standing outside of, like,
Home Depot.
adult Mexican men, like, just standing outside of the Home Depot. My friend was like, they're just waiting for work, and I was like, but I don't get
We've
it.
never been exposed to that. It
No, I
just
was
shows
like,
how.
I mean, I grew up in Cody, and there is not a lot of diversity there.
Mhm.
I actually talked to Laurel about that.
Yeah.
Because she like when she met me and Tim, I guess it like she like wrote us a little letter that it like really like opened her eyes to like a lot of things, and she
Mhm.
was like, I'm really glad I met you guys because now I'm like because she was like from a small town, like you have this image of like gay people and like you guys are so different from that.
Mhm.
Right.
They remind me a lot of Tyler and I.
Oh,
say.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Yeah, just, I mean, stereotyping and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
It's nice to just see the world and be like, whoa,
Mhm.
there's so many different types of people. I was actually alarmed because I was reading one of my textbooks for management and organization, and it said that like 4 billion of like the people in the world make less than $1,500 a year.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
and I was like seriously shocked because I was like, dang, like in America you just don't like see that type of poverty, and I feel like you need to like travel.
I mean, that's
and see
poverty.
things.
That's poverty if you're making that a month,
Yeah.
much less a year.
Exactly.
You know?
I cannot imagine.
No.
Like, well, like we said, it could always be worse. Like,
Exactly.
I think that that's important to see those kind of things.
Well, just seeing other cultures and diversifying yourself just makes you a better person.
Yeah.
And it makes you understand why some people are the way they are, and why some cultures do different things, and
Yeah.
it just betters
Yeah.
you.
This is just so funny. I like. I just think it's funny how the podcast has turned into like diversity. And
I know.
culture, live your best life.
That's always what
Yeah.
happens.
That's the way we like it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun to just like let it flow,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and just enjoy the conversation.
And our podcast is generally about self-development, but we've talked about we want to have guests on and just talk to them about
Yeah.
whatever we want to talk about.
Well,
you
I
know?
mean, but it takes it takes something to decide to start a business like you did, or it takes, like we talked about, like backtracking your thought process.
Right.
Yeah.
These are all the things, and I think that it's important to share these experiences, and I'm the worst at this, learning from other people. I have to make the mistakes myself.
Right.
Yeah.
But
me too.
I don't know, I just feel like when I was lost and down and confused, this is what I was looking for, was something like this, listening to other people that are, I think success is a lot of different things. I'd say right now we're successful. Like, we're doing our podcast, I'd say right now you're successful. It's not maybe the top tier of success that you dream of,
Right.
Yeah.
but this is more than me 3 or 4 years ago when I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when
Because-
we talked to Bryce Meredith, and he talked about how he's, do you know who Bryce Meredith is? He's a
Yeah.
wrestler here. He's a 2-time national finalist, and he would have kids in high school text him and say, "I just lost the state championship, and I know it's not as big as the NCAA
Yeah, I
championship."
actually heard that.
Right, but he said
Yeah.
it's all relative, and so if somebody wins a state championship, it's not any less important or less successful that somebody wins a national championship.
Yeah.
A lot of people can get caught up in that stuff too. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's like you'll feel bad about yourself for like not achieving what like I don't know what other people are doing.
Right.
But it's like
That's where I'm at. I graduated in May.
Yeah.
I still am job searching. I feel like a loser. And Bryce is like, "You're not a loser."
if you're searching, you're doing something.
And it
Yeah.
comes down to, I think the quote that you shared, it's like, you can't base your success on someone else's timetable.
Yeah.
There are many people younger than us that are, millionaires, they're successful,
Exactly.
but it doesn't mean that we are not successful
Yeah.
in where we're at.
Well, the beginning of that big quote is that, like, I'm really bad at time zones. This is embarrassing. It's like New York is 3 hours behind
Or
California
Ahead.
ahead, but it's not like one's better than the other.
Exactly.
People are still
That's a
doing the
great way to
same
look at
things.
it. Yeah.
So, just things like that are really important, I think, to share and,
Mm-hmm.
just be the resource.
and not get discouraged.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
super hard. One thing that we struggle with is mental barriers.
Mhm.
When we were starting this podcast, we were like, who's going to listen to what we have to say?
That's how I felt with this too. I was like,
Yeah.
is anyone even gonna want to buy this?
You just have to put those mental barriers in
I
the back
told
of your
Bryce,
head.
I was like, someday I want to buy something from Luke.
Yeah.
Remember a long time, like literally, I think it was when you very first started. After we went to that shoot with Laurel,
Mhm.
I was like, I really love Luke and Tanner. I want to buy Kristen.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't think about that. You have to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And, not do it. Like, we wrote a blog like 6 months ago, and we were trying to do it to make it our full-time income.
Blogs are hard.
Yeah, and
They're
you can't go into it like that. You
so
can't
hard.
go into it thinking, I'm doing this because I want to make money.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy what you're doing,
Exactly.
and then work towards getting it to be, if you want it to be your full-time job.
Yeah.
Funny thing actually, because on Twitter now I'm like super involved with like following all these people because like some people this is their full-time job. I'm not kidding. They have like websites, they have shop updates, they upload a bunch of stones, they sell out every week. This girl bought a BMW. I was like, what? No, but there's a lot of people. I actually got really mad because like with art and stuff, I didn't really realize it because like plagiarism, I don't know, when you're in school it's just like, okay, well I'm not gonna copy the paper, like
Right.
plagiarism's
Yeah.
stupid, but like with art, there was this girl, okay, so the original girl that I actually got the idea from, she made this like mushroom shaped stone. And this girl, I saw it and it was like super original, everyone loved it because it was like, basically this is actually like a good shape, like this was like the top of the mushroom, and then the bottom of it was like wrapped all nice, and it was cute. But like, I found this other girl, and she had it looked identical, seriously, like swirls of wire, like all of this stuff. And I like commented, and I was like, hey, like, I don't want to be rude, but this is her, like, she did create this like design, and like patents and stuff are different for like art because it's like creative, or I think it's called like creative property or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
are weird in general.
yeah, you can't like really patent art, but like if someone has like an idea, you need to like respect that. And I was like, I don't want to be rude, but like this is her design. And these like two girls and the same girl, they were like, a mushroom is a shape of nature, and then the other people were like attacking me for like being like, you need to give credit to this girl. So then I like messaged the original girl, and I was like, hey, like, just so you know, this girl is like doing this, and now I've seen a million people make the mushroom thing, and I'm just like, bro, you need to like create your own stuff. But they're doing it for money. That was my point.
Yeah,
they're
100%.
They like are copying people's designs and selling it, and people are like have no idea because they're not following the other people.
Right.
So it's just like such a big mess, and it's like really upsetting.
That's a big thing with like these Tim Ferriss questions. He came up with these questions, and he asks, you know, all these people at the top of their field these questions. But I'm like, these are really great questions, and I want to ask people that I interview these questions. But I always say, Tim Ferriss came up with these. These are questions from him.
Exactly.
And I just think they're really great, and I think that asking our guests puts out, you know, a positive energy and knowledge into the world.
Yeah,
and
well, I even got nervous because we've gotten really into reading and just like sharing things we've learned from books. I was thinking one day, and I was like, Bryce, can we like openly like read from the book, or can we like share an excerpt? Like, is this a lot? Like,
I think you just have to be like, because I took like a speech and debate class, and you just have to be like, this author, this date.
It's all
like,
about
this
giving
book,
credit.
and then it's
Yeah.
just like you can say what you want.
And
just
we're
like,
not, you know, we're not like, oh, we're gonna ask you all of Tim Ferriss's questions and that's it, and we're hopefully gonna make money doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I want to know what you think about these things. So
well, they have sparked joy.
exactly.
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 Answers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's all I
or
have.
Do you have anything?
I don't know. I mean, I think just like being inspired is like really something to like go for.
Right.
And like it just keeps you like happy and in like a good mental state. So
Yeah.
like whether you're moving somewhere and like that makes you feel inspired, like
Find inspiration wherever you can.
exactly,
You
because
know?
like your life is just gonna be like dull and gray.
Exactly.
If you don't put some color into it.
With this 5-minute journal, they have a couple chapters before you actually get started with the journal, and one of the big things it talks about is having something to look forward to every day. Because if you don't, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You just start a day on a negative note, whereas you wake up and even if it's a food you're gonna eat, a place you're gonna go, a friend you're
Yeah.
gonna hang out with, you just have to have something that you're always looking forward to and inspired by.
And don't be like scared of starting something.
Exactly.
Like I started this, I mean, I wanted to do like the Instagram and stuff.
That's why I have this sticker on my phone. That's just start.
Uh-huh.
That's what I mean. You have to.
Exactly,
You know?
because if you like, if you're just scared, you're like never gonna do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm still scared.
yeah,
It's okay to be scared.
it's good to be scared when you're doing something that scares you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a scaredy cat in general.
But you have done you have faced your fears in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are less scared today of the things that you were scared of, of a year ago.
Exactly.
So
I just find new things to be afraid of all the time.
Uh-huh.
I just really love to face my fears
Yeah.
or something.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Luke, we appreciate you being on the podcast
Yeah,
today.
thank you so
I'm
much.
glad I got
So,
to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back, next week with another episode. Thanks, guys. Sweet.
So
We
fun.
hit the record button on that.
Yeah.
So it stops.